Hey everybody, it's Brittany from The Crack with Mrs. Mac. Welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this, you're going to be watching the last episode of the Finding Me series. So let's get underway and I'll give you guys an update. So basically the last time that I did episode 4, I had just gotten my results from my heritage DNA and logged on, basically showing you guys like how it broke down all the countries that I was from and stuff like that. What was important for me to make sure that you guys knew throughout this whole series is that it's not just about finding out where I'm from as my heritage background, but also about my family, each side from my mom and my dad. So I said that I would do a bit of snooping on Facebook, which I did, and I got in touch with one of my dad's brothers. And he was able to give me some information about my dad and things that he liked, his favourite foods, his favourite music, stuff about them as children, and stuff that I really just genuinely did not know. And it was important for me to know that stuff because I didn't know any of it. And I know stuff about my mom and stuff that she likes, but I essentially never knew anything about my dad. So it was nice to know that. He was able to confirm and deny some stuff that I have been told in the past about my dad, so that was really helpful to me as well. What I also found out was a really vital piece of information, especially linking back to my heritage DNA, was my dad's actual birth last name when he was born before he was adopted. So he was able to tell me where he was born, I already knew his date of birth and the year, but his original last name. So what I did was I changed his last name from Leo Grand, which is what it was when it was adopted, to his birth last name. And on my heritage, I don't know, I haven't been back on, but I did get a couple of emails saying that I got more DNA matches, so I must go on and look. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use that to like link back to his birth family possibly. I'm not sure how far I'll get because like I said in the previous episodes, my dad was adopted, so essentially his family may not want to know anything about him or if he had any kids or anything like that, but it was helpful for me. What I'm finding with my DNA matches on my heritage is that it's a lot of third to fifth cousins that I'm getting and distant relatives, and I was kind of hoping that I'd get a bit closer to home, but that's just with that. I might in turn eventually decide to do an ancestry DNA kit because I heard that that goes a bit further, but that's just something I have to look into. When I was speaking to my uncle, I also found out that I was able, which I kind of thought, I'm able to obtain my father's records from his passing. So I've contacted the San Bernardino County Coroner's Office, and I just need to find somebody in America to send the postal order over to California for me in order for me to receive those documents. He did mention that it is probably going to be a bit hard for me to read them, and I assume it would be. I've never read anything like that before, but I do think it's important for me because I wasn't really involved in anything when he died, or I didn't really know anything, so I think that that would be important to know, for me anyway. It might give me a bit more closure just to understand the things surrounding his death. Other than that, I haven't really been doing anything else as far as the DNA and my heritage end of things. I did fill out my family tree, so I've gotten a bit more matches from that. Was able to get my grandmother's birth year and stuff put into that, so that was really good. It's all a work in progress at the minute. I think it's going to be a little bit more difficult with my dad being adopted, and I do know my mum's side of the family, but I try and reach out to them and I don't really get anything back, so it's a bit more difficult than just going on and sending somebody a message and stuff like that. So that's definitely something I have to work on. Otherwise, it is just a work in progress, like I said. I'm excited to see in the future kind of where I get with things, and I know that I said that this is the last episode of Finding Me series, but if I hear any updates or if I find any interesting information out, I do plan on linking it back in a new video and uploading it to my YouTube channel. What I'm doing is I'm just ending this series because I don't know how long it's going to take me to find out the next bit of information, and I have other ideas that I want to do with the channel, so any updates on this part of my journey, as I'd say, will be linked back in an episode. I will just link it back and say Finding Me update, so on and so forth. Other than that, I'm just trying to get by and just do my thing and try and find more of who I am and try and get close to my family. But I think one thing I need to come to terms with is the fact that you can only reach out to people so much before you kind of have to accept the fact that if they're not giving it in return, they're just not as bothered as you are. And that's something hard to come to terms with, but I'm working on it. So I appreciate all you guys for giving me support throughout this journey. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did doing it, and I hope that you continue to follow me on my YouTube. I'm on Instagram, The Crack with Mrs. Mac, and I'll try and do as many updates as possible and more funny videos and content. If you guys have any suggestions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. But for the time being, thanks for watching the series. I hope that maybe it was informative to somebody who's been watching it. And like I said, I appreciate the support. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and follow me on Instagram and everything. Stay safe, guys. Thanks.